gentlemen, episode 69 is continuing. You know, we took a detour. We hung out in the NXT universe for a day. It was awesome. But it's back to reality. We are now back in the WWE universe because tonight we are talking about Smackdown. This is the Smackdown Rundown.
Run.
Smack.
What matches happened?
I didn't think you were going to say anything, so I was just going to start talking. We had Big E defeat Dolph Ziggler. We had Natty, Charlotte, and Becky defeat Team Bella. We had Ryback defeat Rusev. King Barrett defeated Neville. And Roman Reigns and Randy Orton defeated Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Is that their full name?
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt.
It's the sound a lot of the...
and regular Braun Strowman.
There's two Braun... God, can you imagine if there's two Braun Strowmans?
Yep, that'd be the Strong Bromans.
We open up with the New Day, touting all the devastation they caused on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, despite being outnumbered 4-3.
Yeah, talking about how
those guys are jerks.
Talking about how it's never happened in the history of the Earth.
Yeah,
no one's ever done
the
it.
history of mankind.
The Shield never did it.
No one's beaten all four of Mick Foley's personas at once.
Yeah, the Shield couldn't do it. The Core couldn't do it. The Nexus couldn't do it. The Dungeon of Doom couldn't do it.
That was my favorite. Like, I laughed when he said the Core, but I almost broke down when he said the Dungeon of Doom.
So, you know, they're talking about how, you know, just how dominant they were, and then they
used 3 count.
And then, oh god, then they were in Philly, so they started making fun of the Eagles, you know, talking about how the Eagles were booty, and then they were gonna try and help. They were gonna try and help the Eagles, and then you know, they get back on their New Day rocks and, you know, touting themselves again. And Dolph Ziggler comes
climbed
out,
up onto a bunch of New Day rocks.
New Day rock climbing.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler comes out and says, you know what, you know, you guys showed me your power of positivity on Monday Night Raw, but you also took away my shot at becoming U.S. champion. So I have asked for a match.
Against his very dear friend John Cena.
Yeah, don't say that.
Dolph, did you see the preview for last week's episode of Total Divas?
That was the season finale.
That doesn't make you look like a very good friend to John Cena's.
Yeah. He says that he has asked for a match against the guy who took his place in the U.S. Open Challenge. That is Big E. And Woods is like...
Langston.
And Woods is like, all right, that's cool. Don't worry, Dolph. It'll be a fair fight. And Dolph says, yeah, I know it will. And then the Dudleys came out. And the Dudleys were in Dolph Ziggler's corner.
Yeah.
Didn't really help, though.
No.
Ziggler and Big E did have a fun match, though. They had good chemistry against each other.
And of course you had Xavier Woods on the outside.
Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were doing their own commentary. Absolutely hysterical.
Tricep me! Yes!
But yeah, the New Day just have such good chemistry together. They were able to overcome the fact that the Dudleys were out there. We had Kofi try to get involved, which lured Bubba Ray in. Bubba went for a kick on Kofi and ended up kicking the stairs. And then Kofi super kicked him in the back of the leg. That knocks Bubba down. Devon goes to check on Bubba Ray. When he does that, Woods jumps up on the other side of the ring. Devon goes over to pull him down off the ring. And when that happens, Kofi gets back up on the other side, hangs Ziggler up on the ropes. He goes down, Big E pins him while Kofi holds his foot, and Big E picks up the win over Dolph Ziggler. So yeah.
Wow, way to go, Bige.
That's throwing me off. You can't say that.
Bige?
Bige?
B-I-G-E, as they spell his name, right?
Sure.
Bige.
We go to the back. Summer
Rae
is talking about different things she wants to do for her wedding. She doesn't, you know.
She's talking to the makeup women.
Makeup women. talking about what kind of theme she wants, what kind of decor and everything. Rusev comes up,
Talks about lederhosen.
Yeah, apparently she thinks Rusev is from Germany.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they wear lederhosen in Bulgaria?
I know. I need to look up whether or not lederhosen are acceptable wedding wear in Bulgaria.
We don't know enough about Bulgaria, apparently.
It doesn't strike me as a lederhosen-y kind of country.
I don't think so.
Who knows?
But
I'd fucking laugh to see Rusev in some traditional lederhosen.
Oh God. Well, we'd never be able to take him serious ever again.
I haven't been able to take him serious ever since the fish.
That's true. He comes in, tells the makeup women to leave, and asks Summer why she's going around and telling everyone about their engagement. Because they had a plan. They had a rule. It was as soon as Rusev gets a WWE gold around his waist, then Summer gets gold around her finger. That's the agreement. And she's like,
I love how they're just keeping Rusev going with this totally bad grammar thing.
I think it's great.
This promo for being Rusev, though, was extremely well spoken.
Yes. He had very little accent in this. If you've ever seen him on Up, Up, Down, Down, when he plays Mad Max and hangs out with Xavier Woods, he's very well spoken. He can speak English very well, and you can tell that this Bulgarian brute character is very much overplayed, very much like Santino and his Italian accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Summer says, "Well, I'm looking forward to the future because I got you a match against Ryback, and if you can defeat the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title, it's only a matter of time that you're more than likely going to get a shot at the title."
Yeah, you have to think, if you beat the #1 contender, then when the #1 contender has his match against the champion, if you beat the #1 contender, you're probably going to be the next in line.
Or, if you're able to soundly defeat the #1 contender, technically you could automatically take his place. If we're still a few weeks away from Hell in a Cell, Ryback
or get added into the match.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of things can happen. So Rusev says, "Oh, thank you. This is great." And all right, so they hug, and Summer starts to walk away, and Rusev slaps her on the ass.
He's like, "Ooh, roo, roo."
Oh my God! They're making it worse, but it's so good.
It's
misogyny at its best.
Pretty much.
Alright, so we had a 6-diva tag team match. We had Team Bella taking on Team NBC. Paige was watching in the back, and she's not too happy about this whole thing.
Yeah, she doesn't like Natty horning up on her hose.
She didn't say hose.
No.
She did say horning up, though.
Yeah, she did. That's when she was talking to Renee Young after the match.
Yes. Good match, though.
Match was good.
Both teams worked really well against each other. They worked really well as teams. Natty is a good addition to Charlotte and Becky's trio. Nikki wound up in the figure 4, but before Charlotte was able to turn it into the figure 8, Brie came in and kicked Charlotte, which caused Nikki to roll the move over. So Nikki now technically has the figure 4 on Charlotte.
In her advantage.
Yeah. So on the outside,
Natty get all pissed off about it though.
Yeah.
And she decides she's gonna try and take the other 2 members of Team Bella down by herself.
She does pretty good.
Yeah, she got Fox down.
Yeah, she got Fox down, but then Brie ends up taking her out. But while they're distracted with Natty on the outside, Becky comes in and kicks Nikki, which rolls it back into Charlotte's advantage. Charlotte locks in the
smart little ginger.
She locks in the figure 8, and Nikki taps out to Charlotte again.
She taps out like she's in full-blown Brie mode.
I mean, she's drunk as shit?
Yeah. That's the female version of tapping like a drunk man.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Tapping like you're in full-blown Brie mode.
But yeah, then we have Renee ask Paige, and she is not happy about Natty being in that position, and she doesn't like the fact that her girls are being taken away from her. I love the fact that she's in denial of the fact that she left them. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah, she was the one that broke away from the group.
But no. After the MSG show, they're turning on her.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Also monosodium glutamate.
Right. Then we had Ryback versus Rusev. These two went at it. This was really good. Just how hard can we hit each other?
Yeah.
And
when you're speaking of guys the size of Ryback and Rusev, the answer's probably pretty hard.
Yeah. And both had different advantages during the match. Each one was able to show their strengths.
Ryback was able to eat more.
I didn't see him eat at all.
Well, there was a part where you looked away and they transitioned from a match into an eating contest really fast.
Man, I missed that part.
Yeah, it was egg rolls.
Sounds good. But Rusev ends up having the advantage.
You want one? You want an egg roll?
Yeah.
Me too.
Too bad every place is closed right now.
Oh.
There was a cool moment at the end. Rusev ends up hitting the super kick.
Kevin Owens is on commentary, by the way.
Yes, because he
making a lot of funny comments.
Yes. Yeah. What was the you seem to run away a lot, and he says.
Oh, yeah. King asked him when it comes to Hell in a Cell because he's scheduled to face Ryback.
Right.
At Hell in a Cell, he's like, "What are you gonna actually stay and fight, or are you gonna run away?" Kevin Owens says, "Do I look like somebody who runs anywhere?" But the other one I liked is that Rusev was pinning Ryback, and Ryback got his foot on the rope.
Yeah.
And Summer Rae pushed his foot off the rope, and King's like, "Hey, did you see that?" And Kevin Owens is like, "No, you imagined that, just like you guys imagined the eye rake at Night of Champions."
And that's the spot I was getting ready to talk about, is that Rusev hits the super kick, and Ryback's down. He's right next to the ropes. He gets his foot up. Summer Rae shoves it off the ropes, but Ryback kicks out anyway. So Rusev's like, "Fuck, this is not."
Yeah, little did you know, when you push Ryback's foot, it powers him up again.
It's like a button on an action figure.
Yeah.
You move the leg and the shoulder moves. So Rusev, seeing that Ryback is still down, decides, all right, this is it. I'm going for the accolade. He does a Rusev crush. He goes to do the stomp on the back. Ryback is able to roll over, grab the foot, and actually toss Rusev back. Rusev ends up back rolling, gets up, gets hit with a meat hook clothesline, then gets picked up for
meat.
Then gets hit with a shell shock, and Ryback picks up the win. I don't think Rusev's getting gold anytime soon. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Now, see, this is what I'm hoping happens, is that this just transitions into a longer and longer storyline. So, like, we're gonna end up with a #1 contender to Cena's United States title. And then they're like, someone's like, "Oh, well, you just have a match against the United States #1 contender." And he loses, and then, like, he's like, "Oh, well, we'll find you a partner, and you can fight the Dudley Boys, because they're the #1 contenders for the tag team championships." And eventually it goes all the way down where she takes Rusev back to NXT. He's like, "Here, fight Tyler Breeze. He's the #1 contender for the NXT championship."
Oh.
And then, like, they lose to Tyler Breeze, and she's like, "All right, we gotta go to Global Force." Fight Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah. Then we get a Wyatt family promo. Bray Wyatt talking about whether it's going to be Roman trapped in the cell with him, or it's going to be him trapped in the cell with Roman.
I think it's about 50-50. They're both trapped in the cell with themselves. What?
Well, it depends which one of them thinks they're trapped.
I think both of them think the other one is the trapped one.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Bray Wyatt talks about the fact that it ends at Hell in a Cell, but we've got a little bit of we got the tag team match tonight, and you're gonna feel the wrath of the Black Sheep. Braun Strowman comes in and talks about how he likes to kill bunny rabbits.
He hugs them to death.
Run, rabbit, run.
Run, rabbit. Run, rabbit.
At least we know. Well, now we know that Braun Strowman is a Rob Zombie fan.
Yeah.
So cool.
And
Score points in our book.
Public enemy number 1 to PETA.
Killing snakes and bunny rabbits.
Next week it's gonna be squids or something. Narwhals.
Don't start with that shit. Then we had the return to in-ring action of King
Narwhals
Barrett
at
on
midnight.
Smackdown. He goes against Neville. This was very much what we've seen between Neville and Barrett.
Yeah, it's kind of refreshing though. I'm glad to see Barrett is back and not just interfering or doing commentary. He's back and actually getting to have a match.
And winning,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
A clever finish, too. Barrett ends up getting put in the ropes by Neville, and Neville's kind of getting aggressive with it.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's the same thing that he did with Sheamus
yeah,
on Raw. He was really just going at Sheamus in the corner.
yeah, and he's very aggressive, which got him
Quick to temper.
him into trouble. And so the referee actually has to back him away from Barrett. While Barrett's still in the ropes, he's signaling for the bull hammer. He ends up turning his elbow pad inside out, and then as Neville comes back, he gets blasted with a bull hammer over the top rope, and we get a win for King Barrett.
It's good to be the king.
They had a cool little video package for him too before the match started.
Yeah.
With some very
It's basically saying,
epic music behind it, which was pretty cool.
It's WWE's way of saying, we hope you haven't forgot who Wade Barrett is.
And if you have, ta-da!
Yeah. Just remind you, this guy still works here.
Yeah. We had an interesting little backstage thing with Stardust.
Yeah.
Stardust was playing with a deck of cards.
Get the Stardust and Joker card.
And first he goes, he says, is it gonna be is the king going to be next? No, not today. Is Stardust going to finally find his queen? No, not today. Today is not a good day for a
White wedding.
white wedding. Man, we had Rob Zombie and Billy Idol.
White wedding.
But then he says, he goes, who is the next? I don't know exactly what he said, but he's looking to the cards to pick his next victim or something.
Yeah.
And he picks one up. We'd never actually seen what the card is.
Yeah.
But then he starts laughing maniacally like the Joker, and we both thought, okay, well, he didn't get the king, he didn't get the queen, so did he get Jack Swagger? Well, we didn't even discuss it. We both just thought the same thing. So, Stardust versus Jack Swagger. I'm not upset at the idea.
Yeah, I ain't gonna knock that feud.
It could be good.
I want to know what happened to the Ascension.
Yeah.
Is it just like, well, I'm done feuding with Neville and his buddies, so
I don't need you anymore.
Ascension, you guys can go away
Yeah.
again.
Poor Ascension. They can't catch a break.
Either that or just whoever Stardust feuds with is just gonna keep teaming with the Lucha Dragons.
Well, I don't know. Like this was obviously recorded, probably Monday night because Cody was at Takeover to award the.
Well, it could have been Tuesday night too.
Maybe.
When SmackDown is taped. Because it was still before Wednesday.
Yeah. Sasha wasn't there because she was. I figure anyone who was involved with Takeover probably wasn't anywhere near SmackDown or main event, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see who Stardust ends up facing, and who the cards told him to face. But then we have our main event. We have a tag team match. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns taking on Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. This is all fallout from the 6-man tag we had on Monday Night Raw. And you can't knock Braun Strowman down with a shoulder block.
Yeah, shoulder blocks. Braun Strowman is just made entirely out of shoulders.
So you can't block his shoulder.
You can't block that many shoulders.
There's too many shoulders. Like, we had...
too many shoulders on the dance floor.
We had... We had Randy Orton try it a couple times. Then he tagged in Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns tried it a couple times.
Roman, like, got a good head of steam coming off, like, 2 ropes. And fucking, you heard it. It just sounded like somebody hit Braun.
He fucking hit hard. And Roman went down and went, ugh.
And you, like, look at him, and his eyes looked glazed over, and he just looked like, the fuck am I?
He immediately regretted that decision.
The fuck is Smackdown?
Oh god. It's just a bad situation. He tags in Randy and they both try to do it and Braun goes, nope. And knocks them both down. It's just, you can't hit him with the shoulder. You can kick him though. If you kick him, he will back up.
Yeah, well I think, you have to play sort of stereotypical big guy on Braun Strowman because we noticed the first chink in the armor going into this match during this match is Orton kicked him in the leg.
Yes.
And dropped him to one knee.
You gotta cut down the tree, pretty much.
Cut the tree down. Grizzly Redwood, where are you at? Be the mini Wyatt to.
I would love that.
I was kind of really hoping he would show up and help them in the feud with Daniel Bryan.
I think
So
that'd
they could
be
have
great.
had a small guy feud with Daniel Bryan.
But yeah, things break down towards the end here. The Wyatts are kind of up against the ropes. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns are really having their way. But Roman ends up clotheslining Bray over into the Timekeeper's area, which allows him to grab a chair. He ends up hitting Roman with it, causing
right in the
disqualification. Huh?
It
Yeah.
looked like it was right in the jump.
Yeah, before I saw the chair, I thought he punched him in the dick.
Because he went down on his hands and knees and, like, looked like he was, like, hands between the legs.
But yeah, it was a chair, and then Roman, he ends up tossing Roman back in, and he tries to go after Roman. He ends up trying to go for the Sister Abigail, but Roman ends up reversing it and kind of pushing him towards Randy Orton. Orton hits him with an RKO, then he gets up and he gets hit with a spear, and then Braun Strowman pulls him out of the ring, and we get Roman Reigns and Randy Orton standing tall in the ring while the Wyatts run away like beardy bitches.
I don't think they ran away. I think they kind of, like, hobbled away.
Well, yeah.
No, I think Strowman improves
Yes.
each time he's in so far, or at least, he's showing us more.
Yeah. No,
Which is good.
Yeah, it's, the difference between him and a lot of big guys is he's being challenged a bit more each time. They're not having him go through and squash people again and again and again.
He's not Rybacking them.
Yeah, he's being forced to actually work. He's able to use his strength, but he's not able to rely on it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they didn't start him off like, here's the new big guy in WWE.
Yeah.
Watch him beat up a bunch of people. Here's a new guy, and we're gonna interject him right in the middle of a storyline that's already going.
Yeah, and he's already going against formidable opponents.
Yeah.
So he's not running through the mid-carders and the people who aren't usually on the show. So good for Braun. Overall, entertaining SmackDown. Went pretty quick. We skipped a lot of really big video packages. There was the Rollins and Kane thing. There was the Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Undertaker thing. Just kind of passing
Brock
through.
Undertaker.
Yeah, all that crap. Took a big chunk out of SmackDown, but overall, good show. Some good matches. Good way to end the week as far as WWE is concerned. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Click all them links down in the description.
Facebook, Reddit,
Twitter,
Instagram,
Tumblr,
emails.
yeah. FantasTalkWrestling@gmail.com where you can talk to all three of us.
Yeah, all three of the two of us on the couch.
Yeah.
And Thomas.
Yeah.
And my email address, Kevin_Hawks636 @hotmail.com.
Thanks Thanks for everyone who's been liking, sharing, reblogging, and enjoying the videos we put up. We appreciate you very much. Thanks for all the new follows, the new subscribers. You guys are all awesome. Keep it coming. Let's post down in the comments. Let's start talking about some wrestling. What do you think about Smackdown? What do you think about the matches we're getting for Hell in a Cell? Do you agree with Kevin Hawk that all the matches should be in Hell in a Cell? I don't necessarily agree with it, but he wants it. He'd be okay with it.
I'd be very okay with it. For this one time. I still put that like little
that's his asterisk. It's just this 1 year. Not every year, just this year.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Let us know. Thanks for watching.
And then TNA could try having a pay-per-view that works for once.
Check out that playlist. We got a Raw review. We got a really long midweek wrap-up because we talk a whole hell of a lot about NXT TakeOver.
Because it was good.
It was. And we, of course, have the SmackDown rundown.
That's
Coming
why I
up,
had a
we're
hard
going to
time
have...
watching SmackDown, was because TakeOver always messes up my SmackDown ability.
We'll also have Tom's Top 5 coming up next. And then in indie news, where we'll have results from 4 Shimmer shows. Lots of shows coming up this weekend, so look forward to that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.